Hello everyone, welcome to the final stream now. Not quite a grand final, I almost misspoke there. Today we are going to see the top 4 teams and we are soon about to start with the first battles already. Welcome. Good to see you all here on the chat, and I'm going to be in the game in just a few minutes. Just before we're getting started, I want to say you are getting some rewards for watching on the portal, not on YouTube directly. So make sure you're logged in, have the cookies enabled as well. So what are we actually going to see today? Let's jump over. This is the bracket now for the top 4. We have BPS, BLAV, Elite, and EXL still going strong for this season. Elite and EXL have met each other in the Grand Finals last season already, so we will have to keep a special eye on those, but also BPS and BLAV are showing some strong performance so far. Today we are going to see the first rounds here and then the lower bracket and the upper bracket finals as well, while tomorrow then there will be the lower bracket finals and the grand finals that lead to the grand prize pool then. So let me already prepare the game because the first one is starting quite soon already. Will still take a few minutes and then we are starting. Okay, let me also check everything. Is everything working? Okay, yeah, seems to be, hopefully. All right. I'm super stoked to see what is actually going to happen today. Both of these, yeah, we're starting with DPS versus BLAV on this stream, by the way. Both of these teams have shown quite a lot of good stuff. We could see a meta of mostly Kranwagens this season, the auto reloader with that insanely strong turret, and that is also often paired with 1 or 2 Felicias that have also a big auto reloader clip. That one is even bigger with 440 alpha damage per shot, but longer interclip. The Felicia often being kind of the anchor of the team, going into holding positions and trying to punish enemies when getting pushed onto. And then we also sometimes see, instead of the Felicia, the 116 F3, and that is a little bit more durable, a bit faster compared to the Kranwagen, also an auto reloader. And those are definitely dominating in this current meta at the moment, as everyone wants to be able to punish the opponents. Since the reactive armor has been removed, the auto reloaders are really the big deal here. And also, then the last tank is the RHM that is usually being played on most maps, the Rheinmetall German light tank, that is really quite capable, as it has like all the fancy stuff that you might want. It does have the special consumables, it does have the provisions as well, increasing the hit points. It does have tracer shells even, and the adaptive concealment. So it keeps enemies spotted for 20 seconds while getting unspotted after 7 seconds. And it has the special provisions or the consumables that allow for some increased mobility, increased damage output, or also the reactive armor that is being used to decrease the damage taken. That is mostly very, very popular in tournaments because people want to avoid getting killed all too soon. In random games that also might be helpful, but in tournaments especially, we see people rocking that reactive armor all the time because it is so much about the focus fire, trying to take out one gun after another. Just keep in mind that deleting one tank, one gun from the field decreases the enemy's DPM, like the team DPM overall, by a 7th. That is really a lot, as this is not like in a random game where everyone's just shooting random targets, but in a tournament scenario, mostly we've got 3, 4, 5 tanks focusing on one single opponent. So reactive armor there. enabling a tank to potentially survive another 1 or 2 shots, maybe getting out of a tricky situation alive. Okay, we've got the room invite. By now I can show you the teams, although they are not ready yet. Let's get over there and already check out the room. This is BLAF versus BPS, and we can see basically the lineups that I was talking about. Kranwagens, Felices, RHM light tanks. The first map, by the way, will be Ghost Factory. That map is sometimes being played for the outer side, but usually people try to fight for the caps in the factory hall. As in tournaments, the bases are a lot more important, even though it might not always be about taking the cap first, but rather taking back the cap when it is needed and getting the caps in the end of the game, taking out enemies, which grants you another 40 points for each kill, and then taking the bases, stopping all the cap points that the enemies might gain. And like that, people are often winning by getting kills and caps right at the same time. That's the incredibly difficult skill to master for the top 4 situations. 2 minutes left to go, by the way. As you can also see on that timer, we do have the teams ready almost. Not much is changing yet, but people are still considering exactly who is going to apply which tank, although you can be assured that these people playing here have practiced a ton. They will have so much experience playing these tanks that they will know exactly what to do. Also, they will have tactics prepared that are just exactly countering the opponent potentially, or practice over and over again to be mastered for every kind of scenario facing them. WoT not readying up with a light tank eventually. It is a Concept 1B. Also, that tank can be seen in the current tournament meta occasionally. It does have a very reliable turret as well, good DPM, and is an auto loader, 2 times 380 in very quick amount, or very short time. And it doesn't have more gun depression than the Kran, but actually it is WoT switching back, so you can forget about what I was just saying. Oftentimes you also see the Concept 1B in this tournament, but it is rather meant for specific cases. Okay, let me quickly check something here. Oh, I see a little issue on my setup, and there it is fixed now. Yeah, as you probably don't know, today I'm actually streaming from my device, like from my PC setup on the official channel. I'm not having a whole wargaming team behind me. I'm not wargaming myself. My name is Paul, or Nino, and I'll be guiding you through this evening and tomorrow as well, then paired with Remen, who is the new tournament manager of wargaming. Oh, there is some sound still on. Let's turn that down. Good. All right, here we go. BPS to the left, and then there is BLAF on the right side. BLAF heading towards the factory with most of their tanks, and they are immediately getting spotted quite early. It is Neo who has gotten a lot of spots, and also BPS is focused very much on the factory hall. They are taking base B. They will get a cap lead with the Felice that they are on. And it is one tank on side of BLAF who already took a beating. Where is he actually? It is 97th. who is getting shot down to 1.5k hit points only. That's about half the hit points left, but he is not the only one taking shots. The Felicia right next to him also struggling to hide. The turret is really not all that reliable, nor is the hull armor. The Felicia being quite a strong tank, but not strong enough to face tanks with reactive armor. But also, the light tank on BPS team is in trouble, getting pushed onto by Vata and the Lavrushka, who is there with the Kranwagen. Dershing still trying to hold the opponents, but Ace cannot support anymore. And this means that Dershing is alone against 2, while Ace is escaping. But no, Kitsune is coming to support his teammate. Currently he is spotted, but I don't think that Vata can really escape there. It's all about taking out the mobility right now. Dershing going in, wants to shoot the light, puts in one shot. There comes Kitsune from behind, getting the super important kill of the fastest tank on the field of Vilaf. And now Vilavrushka is in focus, getting shot by 2 tanks, and also Ace is coming back into the fight, delivering his DPM from the side there. And this Khan won't survive long. Meanwhile, Vilaf re-pushing the other side. They want to kill the factory hall, at least if they are losing the other side. But they are not really having much of an advantage here. There are mainly 2 tanks left against 3. Vilaf not really having much of an advantage anywhere, and is basically already down. Ocean nothing now, down to 1 hit point only before getting blown up, and that means that we are left with just 2 tanks for Vilaf. Hafanium in the middle, getting bullied by Pat, who still has a big shot, not getting killed anymore. And it is 6 tanks still alive on the BPS side, while Vilaf gets killed entirely. Vilaf seems to have gotten a little bit overconfident with their push into the enemy spawn. It looked good for the start, we might say, as Vilaf definitely shot down Ace, the light tank player of BPS. But eventually it was not quite worth it. Also, very, very rough start for the Felicia. We could see him right at the start. He only managed to deal 1 shot, basically, but it was a kill. 16 hit points, and it is the only kill of the game. But yeah, that was not really all too good for Vilaf to start with. They will want to make sure that they can come back from this. But right now, we merely just got started, so everything's still possible, and teams will be very trained and also keeping their calm in any kind of situation. Even then, if it is getting closer in the end, the blood will be boiling, but people have the training. Most of these players here have played in grand finals already. They have played in the top 4 at least. All of those are very experienced, and that also shows. Vilaf now going for the Concept 1B strategy. We could see the Concept 1B last game already, but it was not meant to be on that one. Probably they had the wrong spawn on the strategy. BPS. Oh, actually I put the score to the wrong side. Apologies. It is, of course, BPS with the first one. And now in-game, it will be on the wrong side again. Let's adjust that. Good. Best of 7, by the way. So 4 wins are needed in order to take home the win and make it to the next round. But the losing team is not going to be out of the tournament, because there will be a lower bracket as well. Teams heading to opposite sides of the map. The team of Vilaf playing full heavy, double Felicia, 1 concept apart from the Kranwagens. They are starting with a good hit point advantage. 18.6k hit points for Vilaf on the blue side. while BPS does have 17.8k, so about 800 less to begin with. They have only one Felicia, and they have a light tank. And the Felicia usually brings some more hit points to the field. Pat, as mentioned, the anchor. The Felicia often being in a baiting position or fairly close to the opponents. He does have the hit points, so he is trying to sneak around to put in a shot. Fails to do so. Belaf unpunished, so is BPS. But Belaf has 2 caps to only 1. That's looking good for Belaf. BPS decided to play for A and the outer side of the factory hall. They still have some Kranwagens in the back now. Maybe they move back. And don't be fooled, Pat is not in trouble, because he does have all these tanks on the high ground, on the ridge line here, that can fight from the top and shoot anyone potentially pushing Pat out. So he is pretty safe there. Little bit of an HE damage onto Vata. 112 damage. Better than nothing, but it won't really make a huge difference for the moment. Oh, 192 HE. That's about 1 AP or heat shot by now worth of damage. But also Pat took 1 shot into his turret. He should be careful, as he cannot afford to trade all too often. Belaf having some good map control over the D corner. They are not really too tempted to make a move right now, because they have 2 caps and they can hold them quite comfortably. While Belaf, yeah, they also have the rear, they have the caps. While BPS will have to not only get another cap, but stop the B cap in the best case, just to make sure they are not losing out on points. We can see that BPS is slightly sneaking up, slowly getting closer to the opponents. Dershing on the tank destroyer position on that hill, overlooking large parts of the map, but Belaf knows about it. They don't want to move. But some hit points have been lost by now. Pat especially got traded out quite poorly. Still looking for shots. Maybe he should stop trading. Evgeny also took a beating. He is quite isolated in the rear, and I wonder whether he has enough backup to survive. I mean, yes, of course, there are tanks to the sides. But what if BPS decides to go in here? What if they commit to the push into Evgeny, Vata, and the B-cap? Can that potentially work out? I think Evgeny is getting pincered. He is in crossfire and increasingly struggling to hide, as he is having tanks peeking at him from the side, on both sides there. And now comes the push. But also, it is Belaf counter-pushing onto the middle there. BPS is going forward onto Evgeny and also Vata. Oh, Pat is a one-shot already. The Felicia down to just 13 hit points. Still puts out some big shots into Vata, but he is going to kill him most likely on the next one. Yes, still a full clip for the Felicia. Vata really low on hit points. And also the Belaf team lost 1 tank. Ice is going to get the kill. And there he is. Base D is also getting stopped, but Belaf is also moving. They are getting kills in. Classical in trouble, as he is having a lot of tanks coming at him. But 945 points for Belaf. Base B is getting capped by BPS. Base D is getting capped by BPS as well. BPS really needs some kills in order to make it. But they are losing 1. Ventium getting kills. And that is Belaf winning on points eventually. And still having 4 tanks left against 3. BPS was trying to move up a little bit and trying to recap the bases, but they lost a lot of tanks and a lot of hit points doing so. WoT actually looking good on this game. Just some strong holding positions needed though, as their strategy secured the 2 caps while BPS was playing it safe at the start and wanted to win by making a move later on. It did not quite work out for them. They just struggled too much to find an angle. So that is 1-1. WoT really securing everything there. Had one little weak spot in the rear that got pushed out eventually, but also we gotta keep in mind that the push of BPS onto the isolated tank in the enemy spawn meant that BPS wasn't really going for the caps. They had to kind of commit to the kill, but that was not getting them to stop base B anytime sooner. And base B was still covered quite well by WoT with some tanks behind there. Still, BPS kind of had to go take out some loose elements before pushing into the middle and then getting crossfired by everyone. So it was a tough decision for them. And probably they might have had to do this a bit sooner in order to still have the time. Also, they committed quite hard on the B cap. And that's where they lost so many hit points that they got traded out and ended up losing the fight there. Next map, Castilla. On this map, often enough is played fairly light, with lighter tanks, like actual light tanks. But this time, we can see Kranwagen spam. This meta really shows that the auto reloaders are super dominant. So I think that this means a rebalancing probably isn't all too far away. But I'm just talking as a streamer and not as wargaming here. Don't be mistaken. Evgeny on the hill, overlooking the C cap. This is fairly common in tournament games because the light tank can spot any moves around here. But it was Ace taking base B right at the start. Quick cap by the light tank. WoT wasn't able to do anything against that. WoT is very committed to the A cap at the moment. They will get it, and that's not going to be a problem for BPS, since they have the option of holding here. Dershing moved back into a safe file down position. One of the best positions anywhere, actually. Especially if you are in a 1v3 situation or so. In this position, you can farm. You can make sure the enemies are not getting up here by pushing them down. And you are able to peek in so many ways. Dershing holding up this entire flank on his own for now. Although there is still Korra delivering some backup. But Dershing will be able to farm. Getting HE'd already. As the Concept 1B's turret is far too dangerous and difficult to penetrate. But if we look at him, we can see that if he falls back too far, his rear elevates, making it a bit easier to see the roof of the tank. In the meantime, base C has also been capped. Pat, again in a forward position, has moved to the road over here, where he can overlook the hill to make sure that the light tank is not free to peek there. This allowed Ace to sneak into the C cap. Apologies, it's not possible to show every little move on any given strategy. The Lavushka pretty low on hit points already. Falling back together with his teammates. They want to make a move on the C side, it seems. Although, nope. The Kranwagens are lining up in the water. Playing fish. Just trying to hold there a little bit. They will be hull down here, by the way. If they are in this position, they will be hull down towards base A. And they can hold the A cap. Alphanium is also able to shoot towards A and B. But BPS isn't really anywhere close to A. They don't have to take caps right now. Because... oh, that was a nice blind shot. Ace has not been spotted as he got shot. So Belaf will have to try to take the B cap or C cap potentially, and BPS is well prepared. While holding A isn't going to get them too far. 97's moving in, taking a lot of shots. Down to 1 shot. Can get back into safety for now. But also, Ocean nothing going down. Vata now moving in. 1k points are fairly close to BPS. There will have to be a kill, but is it possible? Yes, there's 1 kill. C is getting stopped, but there is another kill for BPS, and it's the 1k points now. BPS going for strong holding positions overlooking base B and A. C. Bila had to do something about that, but there were too many guns looking at them. And that is the second win for BPS on the 3rd game. Still only half the points needed to get to the next stage. But this was BPS sneakily capping base B right at the start. Afterwards, just moving towards base C, pressuring back the light tank while still holding the A side. It was a constant balancing out of strength on any side. At the start, they started with the middle and then shifted towards the right side while still holding the left side, keeping the map control like that. Belaf, they were too focused on the A cap with too many tanks where there was no one from BPS. It was not possible for Belaf to push in onto base B and get some kills anywhere. BPS didn't even have to be aggressive with anyone. Just Pat. Pat has been in the front again, once more with the Felice playing the bait. We are going to see one more game on Castilla. And that is now played on the different spawn with the BPS guys playing a second light tank as well. Belaf also playing a light, no, 2 lights this time. There's a T100 LT and the RHM. The T100 LT still is occasionally being seen in this current tournament, despite not having all the special consumables that the RHM has. But the T100 has the advantage of being very, very tiny. It's so small that it can hide in so many different places. Also, the hull is kind of bouncy. You can easily get some ricochets off of the light, as you will have a lot more positions to hide in. And a lot more armor compared to the RHM to angle. Evgeny speed boosting towards the middle. Is he going for the B cap? Oh, that first shot almost hitting Ace. Evgeny in base B, trading nicely. There may have been some RNG involved, but Evgeny putting out a great shot into Ace, knowing about this decapping position. Oh, Kitsune was there as well. But B gets taken. Evgeny moving out, reactive armor being used. Vata was there to help. The light tanks seemingly safe. Evgeny almost taking the shot that was dedicated to 97. So Belaf basically playing the same strategy that BPS started with on last game. And BPS is playing for base A with a lot of tanks, but also they have more control over the C area compared to Belaf on last match. Kitsune spotting nothing. Pat taking a blind shot. Was just still spotted right a second earlier, but that was a blind shot into Pat. Kitsune and Pat both being pretty low on hit points already. There is a movement going on the other side. WoT getting pressured by the two clans, but they have turned their turrets to the side to shoot classical. But now they are trying to move forward, and that's what I was talking about. The light tank blocking the clan from pushing in. The clan did not have the gun depression. Now WoT is facing two tanks, but Dershing is getting blocked. Oh, that was nasty. That was nasty. WoT able to take out the clan and getting some support. And by the Lavrushka and Ocean, nothing. The push of BPS failed. Two tanks down on BPS side. BLAV still having everyone alive. WoT one shot though. Has to be careful now. Also, there is a light tank in a tricky position, you might say. The light tank hiding as he probably just tried to take base C, but was getting spotted. Now he has to move out there. Blind shots still flying towards him. Oh, immediately he's getting spotted and he's getting killed. Evgeny from the corner, building up some crossfire. BLAV looking really good on this game. Pat is trying to move up, but getting killed as well. 3 versus 7. BPS barely having anyone alive. And they are facing 2 caps against them. While Ace is also right in front of a full life Tarnwagen. And getting picked up from behind by WoT, who just sneakily climbed up the hill. This leaves us with merely 2 tanks left. That's Cora and Aventium. They still get a kill, but this game is already over. Aventium getting blown up. 960, 70 points, 80, 90. And that's the 1k. Cora so dropping down, but not getting killed anymore. Okay, that was good. BLAV strategy working out really well, and also the way that they held the rear and supported each other, blocked the enemy tanks. That was looking so good. I think it was WoT on the T100 LT just really having an amazing game. Also, I'm just thinking, well, BPS was quite focused on shooting out the Kranwagen as they tried to move forwards for the light tank. Potentially they were a bit too focused on the Kran and should have proceeded to kill the light tank, taking out one instead of shooting down another. If they both still had full clips when moving in, they might have done this. Potentially. I can hardly say what exactly would have made them one, but that would have been an idea to focus more on the light tank with the mobility. In the end, it is often the case that light tanks can be incredibly important in the later stage of the game. At the start, they can spot, yes, but are not that great in terms of armor and hit points, of course. But later on, once a couple of other tanks are dead, they have a large part of the map that they can move around on. And these lights can take bases, they can deliver some spots, and they can shoot into the rear. So if they are allowed to survive until the end, the light tanks basically win the game in many cases. By the way, just to point it out, 2-2 right now, as we are getting to Naval Frontier. lineup again, consisting of a lot of Kranwagens for Leecher and 116 F3. In this case, on BPS side, BLAF is playing with 8100 LT, no Felicia. The T100 LT moving all the way towards A, not spotting in the middle nor on C. This is a bit uncommon. He is rather going to cap the A cap at the start of the game. It's a bit of a gamble, but working out greatly in this specific case because BPS is not having anyone there to defend that. Oftentimes you would see someone in that bush, for example, overlooking base A. WoT finding a spot of Ventium, not getting spotted in return, and not even after shooting. And BPS is trying to pressure into the enemy spawn. But there's still a Vanium on top of the hill. And then there are some clans and the Felicia who can hold up anyone pushing forwards on the C side. BPS is still having some tanks close to A, but BLAF pulled over most of their forces towards the C side as they expect a push over there. There's still Delavushka and Classical. They fell back quite a bit. The idea being that this Kran can barely get pushed out. If he gets pushed, it takes the enemies a lot of time. They can take a few shots and Delavushka can just reload his clip again. Some blind, not blind shots by Ventium. WoT also falling back now because that's too dangerous, and there is a push by BPS onto the Felicia, but it is not looking all too good for them. Sneer is down to a one shot, so is 97th. Vanium is there to get the kill. Gun advantage to BLAF, but now Vanium is getting pushed onto. Will be in trouble, but Dershing failed the first shot. Still, he does have more shots than Dershing, but there comes WoT from the side. Dershing won't have the advantage against Vanium anymore. Still reloading his last one. Not turning for the light tank, probably not expecting to be fast enough. So he's just focusing on putting out some damage into Vanium before getting killed. At the same time, 97 has been taken out. First kill for BPS. But they are down 2 tanks by now, killing the second. Also base A has been capped. BPS having 2 caps to none. Also capping base B still. I wonder whether they are getting away with it. Delavushka in trouble, trying to escape Ventium while Ace is on an empty clip. Delavushka shooting out a few more shots and is now empty, getting killed. BPS looking good on this game in terms of caps at least, but they don't have the hit points. They have half the hit points compared to BLAF, but 3 caps alive, 3 caps on their side still. BPS can maybe try to win, but they are losing another tank just out of frame. 2 versus 4. Is it somehow possible for BLAF to still get some kills? They can hold for now. Oh, Ace has to be very careful. Ventium going in. Ventium committing too much. And is not able to take out Vanium as he's getting shot there. Was a bit aggressive by Ventium potentially. But that was coming quite well for BLAF. They had the possibility to hold very nicely on the C side while also taking early cap lead. This game was all about the safe crossfire that BLAF had. And BPS expected there to simply be more tanks on the cap that BLAF already has, so the A cap. Thing is, BLAF had the A cap at the start, and still they didn't hold it with many tanks. They just had 2 tanks left there. So BPS thought, okay, let us just push into the enemy spawn while there will most likely be more tanks on A, because it would be crazy to go for A with just 2 or 3 tanks, right? You would want your team to cover that. But no, BLAF was gambling a little bit at the start, I've got to say. Getting that early cap lead, while still leaving all the tanks behind, able to support each other with the U formation. 1 tank on the hill, another few tanks down, and most of those remained unspotted as well. Until BPS pushed in and noticed, oh, right, that's a few too many, and they could not quite handle this anymore. BPS still did a really good job at taking bases, but on the contrary, then the problem about the bases usually is you are exposed, you are in the open, you are not in safe positions. So it looked good for BPS for a moment, but they got shot down right after, as they did not have good enough positions to survive them. All right, we are seeing the next one, which might already be, oh, apologies, I need to close something, which might already be the last one of this encounter. BLAF having 3 points by now, whereas BPS only has 2. So match point from BLAF, 1 more point and they got this. They're applying a pretty similar strategy to last game, just that they don't commit to base A at the moment. Evgeny just overlooking the B cap, spotting Pat. Nice shot into the cupola, I think. Ooh, great shots. Yep, where you can see the cupola getting hit. The Felicia does not have the strongest cupola of all. BLAF is able to hold. Also, they sent over 1 Felicia towards base C, which is able to hold the C cap. BPS was trying to cap that at the start. That did not quite work out. So at the moment we've got a bit of a stalemate. BPS potentially having an advantage, as they have over 1000 hit points more already due to some good trades. WoT is down to a 1-shot. Where did that happen? But he can hide for now. He will just wait it out. WoT needs to stay alive and somehow put out some shots later on without getting killed. Maybe that's enough. BPS cannot get that kill shot anytime soon. They would have to push past a lot of other tanks. So it is basically BLAF playing with 6 tanks at the front line, but WoT can support if anyone over here got pushed onto. BPS is very committed to the bridges. The question is, can they actually push forwards? Can they go in over here? And I think the answer would be rather no, rather not. The Felicia having a lot of hit points and a nasty 4-shot clip. Ocean nothing, covering with a nice hold down position. Ice moving around for spotting. Also, Ace is the only light tank right now, so he is also bringing some mobility advantage to BPS. BPS is very focused on covering base A. BLAV is more focused on covering base B and C. No cap can really be taken. What could happen, what I think is going to happen, is that this Felicia will move into base B at a later stage, because it's really not much of an advantage. But he could move into the B cap while getting covered from Evgeny, by Evgeny and Dilavushka. Nope. Nope, that's not what we are seeing, as Dilavushka is commanded to the other side, it seems. Trying to support the Felicia a bit more. BPS also sending over more tanks towards base A. They have some information about Classical being there. They are very, very committed to A. They have everyone there to shoot out the A cap if it happens, but no one to shoot out base B. So if BLAV moved in there, they would have it. Or they would have the cap. But they could get punished for that quite easily. So BLAV will try to potentially only do so later on. Dershing is building up some pressure over here. And that is just a bait. Oh, nice shot. Dershing knows he isn't having much backup, but BLAV is going to be looking at him. And BLAV is sending over Classical. He's escaping. Maybe still taking some shots. BPS now free to go for base A. Oh, BLAV is sleeping, I think. BLAV is not having any map control anymore. And base A is getting capped. Ice is there. He's not having anyone in the rear to shoot him. Nope. Ace is absolutely safe and getting the cap lead finally. Slow game that we are having here. And it is now the push time for Evgeny. He is getting pushed on too by Cora. The Felicia having that big clip. Going to shoot down Evgeny quite soon. No caps for BLAV yet, and they are losing one tank. Can they support in any way? Can they counter push in any way? They are trying to take out Pat. Felicia versus Felicia action. 97 has a lot more hit points. And he will potentially get the kill. Yes, he does get him. At the same time, BLAV is making a push on that high ground. Trying to take out Kitsune and Dershing, but they are barely having any advantage in terms of hit points. Base B is also still getting capped. BPS doing a much better job at the cap management here. BPS counter pushing with Dershing in the rear. And there is a kill on either side. Dershing getting just another one before getting killed most likely, but it's merely 15 seconds left in this game, and this will be a cap win to the team of BPS. Ocean Nothing failing that kill shot, but this is game over for BLAV. Although they just got some kills still, this is BLAV just not having any way of pushing forwards properly, losing a tank early on. Arguably, it was definitely very slow gameplay. It was so stuck that no one really could move out anywhere without getting themselves into trouble. BPS then making the call to go for A right as they had enough information about there not being anyone left. And that was just perfect to take base A, take base B. BLAV could not take any advantage on the other side to pair that. Good. This is a tiebreaker now. 3-3. I'm still thinking, what if BLAV actually sent the Felicia into base B? I mean, they would have to cap, most likely. The question is whether they could have kept the tank on B alive, whether that was going to be worth it. They didn't have full information, as we do have from above, of course. That's what everyone needs to be aware of. So if I'm saying this is working out, yeah, I'm having a very comfortable position here, looking at the map, seeing everything. But I think with that in mind, I think yes, maybe they should have gone for base B. They would have triggered a push by BPS, and maybe they could have punished BPS pushing in if they prepared well enough for that. That's the question. They didn't do so. They decided to push base C instead, and that allowed BPS to come up with some good counter. Guys, we are on the last game of BPS versus BLAF. This time, the winner takes it all. One more win to any of those teams, and they will be in the next round. Of course, a lot of clans again. Felices for BPS as well, and a Vickers Light, the hash DPM monster. Lucky penetration though. Also 11 degrees of gun depression on the Vickers. Ace moving all the way to the corner to get some information. Not spotting much around here, I believe. Oh, Kitsune taking one, but he is moving into base A, and there will be the cap lead to BPS. Oh, he actually got decapped. Kitsune got shot. Could have hidden, potentially. This means that it is BLAF with a cap lead and also a nice start, as they put out one shot or two shots already into Kitsune. BLAF has a light tank as well. It is a T100 LT. Oh, he is dangerously close to Ace. Two lights facing each other, but not willing to commit because there might be backup. Pat is there, not looking towards a light tank though. BLAF is falling back with the Vata, while Evgeny is going for the corner to hold. He can overlook the D area very nicely, and it's incredibly hard to push him out. He can just wait there for anyone to potentially take base D and punish that. I think that's what he does. He doesn't want to get spotted by the enemy light. But that kind of requires BPS to go in on D. And currently they are not really too committed there. BPS looks like they want to go for not your daddy, sorry. And he is potentially a little bit isolated, but at the same time still having cover from behind by 97 and a classic kill. And then there is also Ocean Nothing. It's not even Ocean Nothing. Ocean Nothing or Osea Nothing. Okay. Some shot to Korra. BPS pressuring a little bit, but not really going for it because they see there is quite a lot behind. So they are not really wanting to go in there. And their light is spotting base D a bit more aggressively now in the bush. Finally, Vata and Ace. Oh, Vata spots Ace. And he doesn't know yet. Now he is getting shot. And the tracer shells will keep Ace spotted for 20 seconds. Meanwhile, Kitsune is moving over to the corner. Kind of want that decap. Is there some movement on the other side as well? Yes, we can see Sneer moving up to A. But BLAF is very prepared. Kitsune moving into the corner. Evgeny still unspotted. Ace commits to base D now. Vata is there to punish that immediately. But only stopping base D for a while already allows BPS to take a cap lead. But Evgeny now surprising the opponent. Kitsune low on hit points. Can get killed by Evgeny, but both are reloading their clip for better DPM now. At the same time, push is on the other side, where BPS is going forwards. There is a kill for Dershi, 991 points for Bilaf, but then there was a kill. BPS losing Kitsune. That is the Kranwagen dying on the D side, winning the game for Bilaf. Guys, this means that Bilaf makes it to the upper bracket and will be having an easier time to go for the grand finals. BPS, meanwhile, has to fight for the lower bracket or through the lower bracket. They are on their last alive, basically. Okay. What a close game. So Bilaf was it really nice baiting strategy, just making it work perfectly. Okay, that is Bilaf making it to the next one, and I will quickly have to leave a message to Ramen, the tournament manager of Wargaming. Okay. Alright, I don't know how much time we are going to have now. I guess, from what I know, the next ones are starting soon. And I just have to wait for a moment to know more about that. Okay, everyone. That was a good start for the top 4 in this season. In 6 minutes, we will already have the next game. We can see that this meta is quite dominated by the Kranwagens. And that also means that the meta is often enough pretty slow. The thing is that the Khans, they can punish anyone. Anyone making a mistake can get deleted so quickly. And on top of that, the Kranwagens have really nice armor on the turret, at least. The Fittich 116 F3, they also have nice armor all around. So it is not that much about trading, as it generally isn't in tournaments, but you are just running into a wall of steel if you want to move in anywhere. And therefore, making a move in a bad situation means that you are just taking an entire clip before you even reach the opponent. Maybe multiple clips even. So teams will have to consider very, very carefully where they are going in. Sometimes this looks a bit slow, and potentially some of you might think, okay, that's rather boring, we want some action. But if it is an auto-reloader meta like that, or auto-reloader meta, one has to be super damn careful. In the end, then, it's still about the pushes, like in any other meta. And these pushes will have to come at the right time, into the right place. And in the best case, multiple at once. And in the worst case, they are going into the wrong place and the whole team has to react to that immediately. This is then getting a bit tricky to show on camera. If we get one team pushing there and part of the team pushing on the other side, one team is losing that flank while winning the other, and then there is one light tank capping a base and the game is suddenly a win and no one knew what was going on. But mostly it is about the kills in the end. People are playing for caps to be close and then they want a kill to turn around the game in their favor. Even if a team has the advantage, usually you could see what was happening. One light tank just quickly dropping into base D on last game was allowing BPS to stop the caps for long enough to this be a game in favor of BPS. And BLAF suddenly was forced to get some kills, otherwise they would not have made it. So basically, if Kitsune did not push in towards the corner, he obviously did not know about this and couldn't have. But if he didn't go for the corner, then maybe it would not have been a win for BLAF in the end. That's the tricky thing there. Just one kill was enough. Okay, we are having the next game starting in just a few minutes. Let's reset that score. We are going for Rockfield. BLAF versus Lead. Now in the upper bracket, let me actually quickly check. Over here, Lead was just playing against EXL. Remember, Lead also 4-3, very, very close. Let's check out Lead. Lead on the last season. Here we see Grand Finals upper bracket 5-4 against EXL. What is that? Huh? 4-2? No, that's semi-finals. I think there is some mistake with that being shown above, but that's Lead has been Mercy basically. And they won against EXL there. Now Lead is again looking to be on a top level. Just winning against one of the favorites for winning this season. EXL or APA they have been in the past. Also PC Cat was one of their names. You may recognize those a bit more. They have been playing on absolute top level for so long already. They have won multiple seasons. I cannot even count, like 4 or 5 seasons or so. They have won. They have been in grand finals so many more times. In the top 4 or top 8, definitely also that. Mostly they have won, I would say. But they also had some years where they didn't quite make it. Now Lead looking strong, having won against EXL, making it to the upper bracket. So that means BPS and EXL are in the lower bracket now, and only one of those teams is making it to the grand finals. But here we are. Here we are with the teams of BLAF on the left. Let's swap that out, and on the right we do have Lead. Let's head up. Felice Kranwagen setup by BLAF again. On the other side, we do have one light tank, Kranwagens, and one 116 F3. Dr. Watson climbing the hill for some early spots. Being safe, although it didn't look quite safe, to be honest. He did get some information, taking one hit, almost taking a second shot from the side, but there is another one. No, and another one. Dr. Watson losing so many hit points already. Horrible start for the light tank. But he is unspotted right now. Can escape. Dr. Watson on 600 hit points, so a 2-shot. And he can use his mobility to support from behind now. That's fine. Still, lead took the cap lead, while Bilaf is having a lot more hit points already. Just look at this, 1.5k hit points more for Bilaf, as they are sending over some tanks back into their spawn. The Lavrushka has one purpose mainly, and that is to peek out here if anyone is going for B. Also, those tanks would theoretically be ready to shoot anyone going for the B cap. But it is Bilaf with a cap disadvantage, so they would have to make a move for B eventually, or base C. And it doesn't look like lead was going to allow that. Crip sneaking up a little bit. He is covered by the hill quite nicely. Some hit points being lost on both sides. Especially Bilaf losing HP on their Kranwagens. Classical being kind of trapped there. He cannot really fall back because he is Ivan. Cannot go forward because he is Chipsick, Kopiat, Dr. Watson. Oh, Kopiat. And Nubi Tanks are going forwards. They want to go for the Lavrushka. Sneaky push through the middle. Surprising the Kran from behind. But there will be counter push. Classical and Evgeny going in. They are focusing on Dirty Nubi Tank here, as the first one has already been taken out. Oh my gosh, lead with a strong push here, taking out 2 Kranwagens while losing just one. Evgeny is also kind of stuck there. We will see Kopiat reload his clip, and then he likely goes in to kill Evgeny. There is some support from the side. Lead with a very strong push through the mid, having the kills of 2 tanks, now 3 tanks. They are losing one though. They are losing one before getting Evgeny out. He is still holding on to a few hit points, 88 hit points for Evgeny. But Parmesan is coming from the side, will get the kill. Gun advantage to lead again, and a good hit point lead as well. And they continue their push onto Ocean, Nothing, or potentially Classical if they can. While Parmesan is crushing Athenium. Dr. Watson has been low from the start, but still he is farming nicely from the top. Bilaf is looking very, very low. There goes one. And there goes another one. And the last one. Winning leads the game with 5 tanks on the field still. 5k hit points as well. Strong lead for them, definitely. And I gotta stop the puns here for hell's sake. Oh my gosh, okay. So lead looking so bad at the start. Losing those light tanks hit points. They got some spots. Yes. But they had one light tank basically out, almost. It did not look good for them at all. But still, we can see Dr. Watson having farmed 5k damage on this game. He was on top of the hill farming the entire battle. And leads just with a very, very smart push, finding one isolated tank and going for him. Speeding over. That's the strength of the Kranwagen. Using the mobility advantage out greatly. Going straight through the middle. And barely getting noticed. Only when it was already too late. So 1-0 for lead. Rockfield number 2. Swapped spawns, of course. We will have Bilaf play double Felicia this time. Quite a bit heavier. Then lead goes for full Kranwagen. +1 RHM light again. So it will be a good hit point lead for Bilaf. at the moment or at the start. And it would be quite tricky for a lead to come back from. But of course, they have a mobility advantage. They have a light tank that can just zoom around the map. And they will likely make good use of that. Okay, so. Scores in-game are on the wrong side. Apologies. Let's fix that very quick. There we go. BLove playing a similar strategy to last game. Just that this time they have 2 Kranwagens holding the C side, while most of the tanks are on track to base A. Early spot by Dr. Watson, who is not really taking any base yet. Just wants to get in some information and potentially get some decapping shot in on base A. I wonder whether that has been a mistake. Nope. He did get the decap and another one. Evgeny trying his best to hide, but some HEs can still deal a little bit of damage on that Kran's turret. Oh, another decap. Dr. Watson also keeping him spotted. And another shot. The Kran still trying. No, he's actually not spotted. Tracer shells didn't really help, because they only work once a tank is spotted. And base A has been capped finally. At the same time, 97 is going for base B, but he's immediately getting pushed onto. Lead is ready to push onto 97th. They are so early with their relocation. Look at that. Base B has been decapped, but also BLove is not unprepared. They have all the tanks ready to punish anyone shooting out 97th on B. So Parmesan down to half the hit points, falling back into cover. Base B is safe for BLove. That costs Lead a lot of hit points. But still, it is a Felicia isolated in the middle, being trapped there. He can really not escape there all too easily. And Lead is immediately coming up with plan B. Speed boosting towards the enemy spawn. They don't see this Kranwagen yet, but now they will. And they put out some track shot. And another track shot. Crip now going in. Putting out 1. Putting out 2. And kill shot. Yes, he does get in. Gun advantage to Lead. Caps still in favor of BLove. But 97th again getting crushed. Now it is Kopyat from behind, but nope, he can still not go in there. There's still a Vanium and WoT. But Parmesan now pushing in from the other side. Together with Kopyat, they have the clips. And that is the kill. 2 guns more for the team of Lead. While BLove is also not sleeping and pushing forwards, killing 1. But can BLove hold their caps? They lose the second one. And basically they are down 4 tanks already against 6. Lead is looking so strong here. 3 versus 5 now. Base B getting stopped by Lead. Oh. Chipsick deciding to cap the base. Leaving Aphanium alive. He can still get him most likely, but really doesn't want to give up on the B cap because it's already so close. Oh, the light tank getting focused badly. But Aphanium has to die. Base A also getting stopped. 2 tanks left alive. Aphanium getting killed by Chipsick. And that is the 1k points for Lead. Oh my gosh, I love how they play here. Lead is so aggressive, so They are so smart with the relocations and being so quick to see what they could potentially do and immediately reacting to the scenarios. They are not standing around that much, but potentially that was also due to this map. We will see how they perform on others. B-Love seemed so slow compared to that on the last games, but we've only seen B-Love a few times and lead basically almost no games at all yet. Oh, 97th on base B. Suffered. So that is game number 2. Already another point for lead. B-Love now playing Kranz. Yes, for sure. And Kranz on lead side. Haven't seen that before. And then there is a T100 LT on either side. Interestingly, both are opting for the T100 and a Felicia on B-Love side. It is Hellas, by the way, and that should already tell us why the T100 LT is being used. The T100 is tiny. That I already told you earlier. The T100 has a little silhouette that can hide in a lot of places. And this comes in especially handy on Hellas, where there is a C cap that has some rocks around, where you can move into base C completely unharmed with no one able to shoot you if you are on a T100 LT. So in tournaments, often that's the choice for the heavy side, and for the spots in the middle, maybe the RHM would be a little bit better. But on the C side, the T100 is excelling. That is 2-0 for lead. Still needing 2 more wins to make it into the grand finals. B-Love sending their light towards base B at the start, same as lead does. Nope, water isn't really capping. Spotty, but not going for the shot into Dr. Watson. Now sneaking back into the B cap. Interesting move by Wata. Aphanium getting tagged for 1.4k damage. That was not a healthy peak, and lead immediately pressuring him. It is a Kranwagen, maybe going for base C, but I think we can potentially see the light tank take over there. Oftentimes that's what happens. Light tank then going in here, but look at Chipsick being tracked. Perma-tracked in the open. The question is whether he can repair on time to get back into safety. Oh, there's one more shot. 390 damage. Oh, 390 damage on Chipsick. Low roll, leaving him alive on just one single hit point. Chipsick is unspotted and can escape. Lucky man. Could not be any luckier than that, although he has been quite unlucky to get perma-tracked. But one hit point only on this Kranwagen. He's going to fall back, hide in the rear, and see if he can still put out some shots later on. If this kill is costing B-Love the win, that would suck. If this low roll, I mean. Now we can see T100 hiding, as mentioned earlier. This will grant the cap lead to lead. And Grip is taking a shot from the side. Dr. Watson is safe. He's unspotted. He can rotate out again. The thing is now that B-Love will have to push. They don't have more hit points. Just 50 hit points more. That's basically nothing. They basically have one tank more in the main fight because Chipsick has to hide. But they can also not kill Chipsick, who can still put out some shots. So the problem is for BLAV that they need to take back the caps. They need to somehow get some kill as well. Although the caps are the main focus. For now, at least. So WoT is rotating over. He's going to take a look at C. But probably should not go in there yet. He does not see Crip. Not yet, at least. Lead is very stacked to hold the C cap. Evgeny taking a shot. WoT in the C cap. Oh, it looks like it will be possible for BLAV to take back base C. And Tank coming too late. But there is classical isolated. Too aggressive on top. Getting shot down. Gun advantage to lead. And also Evgeny is in trouble. Getting pushed on 2 by 2 tanks. Lead having the focus fire, having the track shots. Chipstick has been taken out on the other side. Base C is getting capped. But also base A and B will have to be taken and held by BLAV. But they are currently losing B to the light tank. Lavushka and Ocean Nothing just working together nicely. But there is the point win. With a kill, that's the point win to lead. So it was eventually more about the caps than the kills. But still, that low roll, that must have been super annoying. I think probably BLAV will be quite angry about that right now. And they are likely to be already demotivated after the first 3 defeats in a row. It is the 3rd win to lead. And BLAV playing one concept, 1B this time. No light tank for them anymore. This might get tricky. Concept 1B usually is going towards the center of the map for some early spots. And we'll have some early shots there potentially as well. So basically like a light tank, but they don't have anyone to really just go in to hold, to take base C or take the heavy-sided caps early on. But also lead is deciding to swap out the light tank now, going for another Kranwagen. That means no, one player is gone. 6v7 incoming. Let's hope not. Okay. Dr. Watson is back and still on a Kranwagen. This might already be the last game. If Lead wins this, they will be in the grand finals. And if they win like that 4-0, that would be very well deserved. That was not up to a low roll then. But let's see if they can actually make it, because I would hope for some more tournament games. So Lead can potentially, or BLAV can still drag it out into the length and win some more games. We also don't wish for anyone to lose that decisively in such a high level game. WoT spotting, not having any shot though. BLAV carefully playing for the heavy side. Lead being a bit more aggressive over there. Meanwhile, Lead is holding The heavy caps also B left. So no one is really committing to any cap, surprisingly. Base A and B still untouched. Lead. Also rotating. Noob v tank here. Noob in a tank. It means, from what I know. Or dirty noob in a tank. I think dirty is a leftover from a previous clan name. As many clans have decided to put their clan name right in front of their names for a while. It was a bit of a trend back in the day that's gone nowadays. Bilaf also sending over the concept towards base C. The concept being an advantage here because it is also lower compared to the Clanwagen, so it might be able to take base C without being seen. I think that can work out. Bilaf having the slightly smaller tank available, and that allows them to take that C cap and get an advantage. Lead taking B right after. No one is there to fight for A. I mean, there are some tanks covering base A, but the question is whether they are able to hold A cap. I think so. That might be possible. Should be. Nice shot by WoT into Parmesan. This game is looking good for Bilaf. They got the cap lead. They got the hit point lead. But can they keep their tanks alive? Can they potentially kill someone? That's the big question. Because just like 20 points of an advantage are nothing. Just one guy pushing into base C and basically the advantage is gone. Or push into A. A push by lead into the back of WoT could also work out. If they went through down here, pushed him from behind and from the front, WoT would not have any way of escaping. I see more opportunities for lead at the moment than for Bilaf to hold. That's the problem. Bilaf is deciding to hold base A with a lot of tanks. And lead isn't really committed to that, although they are. Yes, they are potentially going for A. They have tanks moving in. 3 Kranwagens on the move. Both teams very focused on the heavy side now. Has anyone been spotted? Nope. Oh! 97 is rotating out. No, he's going closer. Not escaping. Might be just the right move, as that will allow him to surprise anyone capping base A. So lead, he's pulling their forces together in the middle and on the heavy side. Kind of works. But I don't really think that they are going to be successful pushing base A. Bilaf is well prepared for this. I think there was a much better opportunity to kill WoT, even though he has cover. Dilavushka and Kopyat not spotting each other at the moment. And people are waiting for the right moment. Oftentimes in tournaments it's at around 800 points that people are deciding to go in, because that still allows for enough time to take a base while also potentially getting a kill. It's not too close, but also relatively close, so there is not a lot of room for the opponents to do anything. The advantage to such a late push is that you can really plan out everything in advance. You can plan where everyone's going to go, how they are going to behave. But if the push was coming too early, then the situation becomes unplannable. There are so many different potential outcomes that it is impossible to plan ahead. Oh, and we are seeing 4 tanks moving for the A cap, but they are blocking each other, and there are so many tanks of B-Love. Lead is afraid. They don't want to go into A anymore. They have so many tanks ready, but they are getting pushed back. B-Love now making a move in the middle. WoT is going straight through the mid. Base C is also getting capped. Oh, B-Love has given up on the C cap, but they can potentially get some kills, but they will absolutely have to. 960 points for lead. Just 1 kill would be enough. But I don't really see B-Love being prepared for this. Can they get anyone? Anyone has to die, and it would be a win for lead. There is a kill for B-Love, and it is a kill for lead in the end. B-Love giving up on that C cap, not having anyone to kill, while they could have held base A. They could have held base C. Lead was just getting in there and having more tanks on base C, enabling them to get a kill. Oh man. Evgeny, 0 damage. Ephanium, just 71. And that is 4-0. 4-0 for lead, making it into the grand finals. Whew. Lead really, really strong. Just winning 1 game after the other. Just undefeated here. Oh, okay, I'm getting spammed with messages in another chat. Okay. Okay. Jeez, that was still very close. I would have expected B-Love to win this, but lead just going in. So B-Love had to get a kill somewhere, but they could not. They were not close enough anymore. They wanted to go for some push. The concept 1B escaping from the C cap all the way over towards base A and B, wanted to help with that push, but that was too late for that move. If he actually sticked to C, they might have won this game. I think yes. If he did not try to help on the heavy side, he might have had much of a bigger impact on the C side, as it was just about 1 single kill. Oh man. But very slow game for the most part of this. It was interesting to see how lead and B-Love had some similar ideas about approaching the heavy side. It's just preparing their tanks there for the potential A cap with 4 tanks, and B-Love was just having exactly that in mind, preparing with 4 tanks to cap or to hold the A cap, while there was then the crucial push by lead into base C, while also having someone ready to cover base C from a distance. That was Parmesan on a tank destroy position basically with his clan. He could still crossfire, which eventually ended with the death of one Khanwagen, who desperately tried to hold C. Focus fire was not quite there for B-Love in the later stage anymore. And the one making a move was winning. I've got to say that oftentimes it is the case that the team making the move in the end has an advantage. If you are forced to push, you're at a disadvantage. But if you are coming up with a smart plan, you may benefit from it, because you can't just stop a cap like that. You can isolate an enemy and get the kill. When you know, okay, that one is alone, you just need to be first to get the kill. Even if you lose someone afterwards, you have a momentarily you have an advantage, and then you can make it work potentially. So often we see a team taking a cap, getting a kill in the end, ending up with a win. So I'm not entirely sure whether there will be any more games today. Let me see. Let me double check. Not that I'm ending the stream before the games are actually over. Let me also check out on the tournament page. Wait, let's use the website. That's easier. So let's refresh that. All right, here we are. This is what we have seen today. BPS BLAV was 3-4. Lead versus EXL 4-3. Such close games on round 1, then second round. Upper bracket finals, very decisive for Lead. They really showed some interesting stuff. The way they moved around the map, they just did not hesitate too much, and I love to see that. Now on the lower bracket, there is EXL versus BPS. I think we might still see that one. Yeah, we're still seeing the lower bracket semifinals today. And tomorrow then the lower bracket finals and the grand finals. Okay, I cannot end the stream yet. Okay. What else is there? Nothing over here. Yeah, it's already scheduled for quite soon. I think I have the room invite, and yes, okay, good. Also, I will quickly have to reset that score, so we are starting from scratch again. I'm glad that we are able to see EXL as well. I've personally not streamed them all too much yet. I cannot really say that I've seen them play against top-level opponents yet. I mean, the old team of EXL, yes, I have seen them in many seasons. This season, not so much. In case you don't know, I was streaming the qualifiers on my own channel, just called Nino, as you can see on the name up there. That's where I am usually active, as I'm not a Wargaming employee. I'm just here for today and tomorrow. Otherwise, doing my own content. So maybe check that out as well. If I'm already here, I can also say that, I guess. All right, we are having Kranwagens again, with EXL, of course, lining up 6 Kranwagens. BPS, so far, not that many clans at least. It's 5 clans, 6 clans for them as well, and an RHM. But we still have 3 minutes, so people might still switch out their tanks quite a few times if they wanted to. What they are doing, just for those of you who are not that familiar with tournaments, as most of you probably are not, maybe just let us know in the chat. They will be sitting on a website called StratSketch or whatsoever. There are multiple different websites where WoT Tactic, those are the main 2, where they are then having a lot of strategies prepared. They have a lot of tank icons all over the map. They have a lot of arrows. You do this, you do that. If this, then that, etc. They will have talked through all that earlier already. They have trained all that already. Maybe there are some final adjustments to the strategy, but they will be making sure that everyone knows exactly what to do, so that they have the best chance of a positive outcome. So yeah, it's not like a random game where everyone has to play on their own. Nope. Here we have mostly one team leader, which is Uni on the EXL side, Dershing on the other. those are usually the ones who prepare a lot of strategies, and then they have some co-callers as well. Like I noted, on EXL it would be Object 3, on BPS Cora most likely, and Ace. I think, I'm not sure. There will be usually 3-4 people talking a lot and just making plans and the like, and then the others also add some additional information about where somebody has been spotted, where somebody got shot from, and maybe they also throw in some ideas what one could do. So that's how it's going on, what's going on in the tournament voice chat at the start, especially, and it can really get quite chaotic if you if you are then in the middle of the action. I've played tournaments myself for a while, but in the end I mostly focus on streaming. Some of these players here I have actually played with for a short time as well, so I can tell what the inside looks like just a bit, although these people playing have a lot more practical experience on the field. That's why those are the ones playing. Now we have the final lineups, I would say. Rumpelstilzchen, Genghis-Khan, Krim, Adam, Uni, Object 3 on Kranwagen, Irrealism on the RHM. Then on the other side, also 6 Kranwagens, 1 RHM. And again, Rockfield. Oh. Let's get up. We see EXL spotting with the light, getting some early information in. But also Adam taking a lot of shots. Look at that nasty crossfire by BPS. Amazing start there. Oh, only 954 hit points left. Krim still got blind shots. Adam can escape. Base C has been taken already by the team of EXL. And let me quickly fix the overlay. Good. Now the team names are correct. So good cap lead for EXL, but at the same time, very good start for BPS with that shootout. They have control of base A. They finally got the cap, but they will still have to go for the B cap potentially, or the C cap. They will not be able to win like that. And I think we might see a C counter push with Dershing, Pat and Ventium being lined up in the rear. All of those tanks are quite healthy. There's a massive hit point advantage to BPS, 2.5k. That's almost an entire tank. But the question is whether they can make good use of it. We could see that earlier. Having one more tank on the field basically means nothing, or just in terms of hit points, just having 2k hit points more. Having one enemy that is a one-shot doesn't win you the game. Oh, Irrealism with a spot of Dershing, who is now speed boosting forwards. Seeing the light tank in the corner, immediately trying to chase him. Taking one, and not another one. Oh, but there is a lot over here on EXL side. Adam takes another shot. Dershing tries to find one more. Adam down to one shot. It's not possible for Dershing to kill him, but also Dershing loses a lot of hit points. There is Ventium now coming in for the kill shot. Gun advantage to BPS. But EXL has a lot of healthy tanks there, allowing them to repush. Crim moving over, losing a lot of hit points. Cannot quite move in anymore. Crim down to one shot. Ventium going in for the kill. Kill number 2 for BPS. There was a nice HG into Irrealism. 545 as well. Irrealism though having the reactive armor is safe for the moment. Can potentially take out Ventium. Yes, gets the kill. Nicely done by Irrealism. But Sneer might be sneaking around to get the light. Over here, Uni is getting killed. 3 versus 6. 2 versus 6. BPS looking very strong on this battle. Perfect counter strategy to their opponents. Still a kill for EXL, but Realism gets punished badly. Ace is there. Nope, Ace does not even go for the light tank, just goes for the damage. Wants to farm Rumpelstilzchen, as he failed the kill shot. Rumpel also down to a one-shot now. Gets killed by Ace. Realism still getting the light tank out, but he is now stuck in front of all those opponents. That was win number 1 to BPS, and actually I just noticed that I put the teams to the wrong sides. Okay. Lots of stuff that I have to take care of in the background. Adam, 0 damage, was really suffering, was just getting killed so early, was pretty unlucky, to be honest. I mean, yes, perfect counter strategy by BPS, but obviously they did not know what EXL was about to do. So EXL losing 1 tank that early was really bad for them. 1-0 now for the BPS guys. By the way, this is the lower bracket. So if any of these teams loses, they are not going to make it further in this top 4. They are going to be out. For sure, there is no way of making it back into the tournament anymore. The losing team here takes the 4th place. The winning team will have another chance tomorrow to make it to the grand finals. All right. Both teams are ready. Full heavy lineup for BPS. 116 F3. Otherwise Kranwagens. EXL taking out 1 light tank. So it will be mobility advantage for EXL. And we are starting. Hit points being higher on side of BPS from the start on because of the full heavy lineup. And of course they also have more armor on the field. The question is whether EXL can use their mobility advantage. And I think that might work very easily on this map, especially because you have such nice positions for spotting, but that didn't really work here. Still, Realism moving into base A, getting the early cap lead. Blind shots not quite connecting. The light turning around his tank to have the turret even more hidden. That's actually smart. I've barely seen it. Oh, Irrealism moving up the hill a little bit too much. Taking a big shot or 2. Still, it is an advantage to EXL for now, as they have more caps. Although that's not a big gap in cap points. And BPS will be able to come back from that fairly easily. So Crim and Object 3 are deciding to hold base A, carefully spotting a little bit, while being spotted actually. I will probably know that there is someone in the bush over there. In this case it is Ventium. Crim and Object are the ones in the front. They don't really want to take shots, but they want to see if anyone's approaching base A. Because they will know if anyone peeks around here. In case you don't know, you are spotting with the highest point of your tank and the gun mantlet. So raising the gun like that allows you to get some more information without getting harmed. In case you're having armor in the front, which mostly is the case. Well, the points getting spotted are all around, like the rear, the sides, just 1 point each, the front and the top as well. Kitsune trying blind shots into the bush over there, expecting there to maybe be a camper, as that's quite common. Realism has been spotting a bit more aggressively again. And I think we see movement on the A flank as BPS is heading forwards towards base A. They can stop base A fairly easily by getting in there, but that would allow for EXL to counter push. And actually, we are seeing a counter push already, or the first push of this game, with Adam chasing out Korra. Nice shot. Tracking Korra as well, so he's probably out of repair kits. Taking another one. Korra not safe there, but also EXL might be pushing a bit too aggressively into the crossfire of Kitsune and Dershing. Those guys are ready, and Jungenskog just losing a lot of hit points. Great positioning by BPS. They can counter push immediately. Nice bait. Irrealism has to escape, and BPS will win this flank. At the same time, base B has been kept by BPS as well, and there is a massive brawl going on. Crim is down to 1 shot. Crim, still alive, will be killed pretty soon. Ace is getting the kill. 2 guns out on either side. Base A is a fight of Ventium against 2, but Rumpelstilzchen is a 1-shot. Object 3 though, full life. Ventium still trying to get him and get Rumpelstilzchen out. Very nicely done, and that is BPS winning on points. The kills being all that they needed. Also, that bait was all that they needed. The bait on C triggering a push of EXL that was punished really badly. But still, BPS did not sit it out on that. They also counter-pushed on the other side. They took base B. They moved in on base A. Basically, they got B. They won C. And base A, they just needed to survive for long enough. That was all that was needed. Ventium then with the last kill. Great job on that. And BPS now with 2 points to none. And we are seeing Hellas again. Same maps as last games. Kind of looks like it. Now EXL versus BPS on Hellas. Last time we've seen B-Love versus Lead here. Let's see whether those guys will have a different approach. Also here we can see a concept 1B on either side actually, T100 LT on BPS side. If you were listening, you already know what those guys are going to do. Again, the light tank often starts at on the heavy side taking base A, but is usually being taken into the C cap at some point, maybe sooner or later, while the concept 1B is usually starting around the middle of the map, might also move into base C. Or also another option for the concept is sitting right in front to hold the B cap, like taking this hill for example. And he's actually going towards base B at the start. You can see the concept being pretty fast. He's going straight into B. Cap lead for EXL. They sent over 2 Kranwagens for backup to pressure the enemy spawn already. Ace straight into base C. But it is a cap lead to EXL at the moment. Surprisingly, EXL did not commit anyone to the C side. Just going all towards base A and B. Maybe. No, they are not able to cap base A. EXL can still consider falling back towards base C. But from these positions down here, it is getting a bit tricky. Because you will have to cross a lot of open terrain. And might get shot into the back. But by the looks of it, Rumpelstilzchen isn't trying to do any of that. He is just holding, baiting, waiting down there. Just wanting to remain unspotted and unseen. Hoping for BPS to make a play. But he will also be nervous. What if the teammates lose too many hit points and he's there doing nothing? What if he had shots otherwise? Should he not be fighting more? Those are the questions going through one's mind when baiting and hoping for the best. But BPS might be falling for it. They are steadily moving forwards, but not really committing yet. Adam relocating towards the rear. Be aware he is spotted. So DPS will have some information about a potential relocation towards base C that they might want to capitalize on by pushing in on Jimmelskog, who is in the front. Rumpelstilzchen is hidden. Also, there is Object 3 behind on the Kranwagen. Definitely one of the veterans with one of the most tournament experience at this point on top level. Object 3 overlooking the sea area. Or not necessarily the sea area, but he's having some spots over here where Ace is crossing. Object 3 not able to see him. The light tank's camouflage just working out so well. Is there any movement now? Some action is happening, but not really anything serious just yet. Meanwhile, Ace is using every bush available. Weird position there. Meanwhile, Adam and Krim are holding in the rear. Also baiting. So EXL does have the cap lead. Keep that in mind. BPS will have to push in. So Rumpelstilzchen is hiding. Over there, there's Krim hiding. Now Adam is moving over because there is movement on BPS side. BPS is trying to push into base A. and trying to kill Junglecock potentially. The move comes. Hit points being lost as Adam is there to shoot down some of the opponents. Pat lost a lot of hit points, but now suddenly there are Rumpelstilzchen and Junglecock with full clips. Also, Object 3 is there suddenly. The bait working out nicely. Look at that focus fire. Ventium blowing up. That was just a matter of seconds. Suddenly, EXL is so close to the 1k points and they get a second kill, and that's 1k points for EXL. 2-1. First win for EXL, but what a win. The baiting strategy just working to perfection. BPS was absolutely falling for it, thinking they could go for some easy kills, but that was far from the truth. They could not do anything there. Ace on the light tank, completely out of the fight. Having one light tank did offer for a bit of information, and of course, yeah, he did get some cap. Got 615 cap points. 86 assisted damage is basically nothing. But the light tank has basically been out of the fight. And that's where the lineup of EXL was really shining. They were able to simply have all the heavies engaged. Just that they had someone in the background. That was Crim baiting. But even he did get to shoot a couple of times. So that's the first win for EXL in a best of 7. So yeah. Alright, not great for them that they are behind, but they only need 3 more wins. BPS 2 more wins. So just looking at it that way, there is not a bad chance of EXL making it to the next stage, just as BPS can get to the next stage just as well. Alright, second game on Hellas. A rematch with different spawns, of course. We are having a T100 LT for EXL. While BPS is also taking the T100 LT again. And they have Concept 1B on top. Let me just only talk about the tanks that are not Kranwagens. Anything else wouldn't make a lot of sense. Adam going towards the middle. Going to pressure a little bit. Nope, not going through the middle, but just... are going to spot the center. Might have some early shots if he is prepared. Adam puts out one. There will be more crossing. Ventium. Just an HE. Ventium was having his turret turned towards Adam. As you should always do when crossing over in the open. Turn your turret to where there might be opponents. Snee also taking some hits, more than would be healthy. Base B has been kept, base C has been kept. But we could see that often it is quite easy to get back base C, while it might be much harder to take base A or B in the end of the game. If a team is pressuring. But in this case, I don't see that happening. Realism is the one we're following right now. Doesn't have to fear much when going for base A. That will grant him or EXL the cap advantage. Ace comes in to decap. Tries his best to find a shot. Doesn't get it though. 2 caps to 1. EXL now in a good situation. Object 3 and Jungenskork being the ones to give some backup to anyone that might get pushed onto, like over there in this corner, over there. Like Ace? Ace is not getting spotted. And Ace is just stealing by C right in front of everyone. And it looks like EXL might not be able to do anything about it. Let's check out Rumpelstilzchen's perspective here. He does not see the light tank, I guess. He does not see him. And is not willing to commit because of the crossfire from over there. So again, EXL having the disadvantage. And they are relocating. They want to take back base C maybe. Are they going to send in the light tank again? Or are they getting greedy now and use the Kranwagen? They are using the Kranwagen. But that one is a lot higher, so it might get decapped. But they are using two. One tank to cover the other. And Cora taking a nasty shot. Sneer also getting shot again. Triple cap. But also the T100 getting shot this time. Still, it was possible to take by EC, but at what cost? But the problem is rather elsewhere. Adam got shot down. He's down to half the 8 points, and base A is getting recapped again. BPS being quite aggressive in the enemy spawn. There's only Object 3 to decap. He did not get a decapping shot. Used his shot for Ace, but Object 3 now being low on hit points against a far healthier Pat. The main push is on the other side though. Let's get there quickly. EXL is fully committing to the push. 980 points for BPS and they get a kill. Object 3 is out. Jungenskork still getting... Rumpelstilzchen is still getting Dershing, but EXL being a bit too slow. Not taking enough care of the own caps. The triple cap did work eventually, yes, but it put 3 tanks into one position while the other 4 had to take care of the rest of the map, and that was just not enough. BPS had 1 tank in front of C and 6 other tanks all around the map that they could use in clever ways. Realism basically winning the game with his light tank action, but only putting out 1 single shot. It was all about clever cap management. Guys, this puts us to a 1-3. This means match point to BPS, as they only need 1 more win to get to the next stage and kick EXL out of the tournament. EXL, again, a team that has won many cups in the past already. That was in the grand finals only last season. EXL has so many strong players with lots and lots of tournament experience, and they are almost getting kicked out already on the first day of the top 4. "20 seconds left to go. We are switching to Port Bay. Double light lineup for EXL, RHM and T100LT. BPS is going for an interesting setup there. We can see Caro 45T, RHM, Concept 1B, 116F3, RHM light tank. Did I just say that already? I think yes. Otherwise, Kranwagens, of course. Match point to BPS. And we are getting started. Speed boost being pulled off on BPS side. Less so for EXL. Surprisingly, it is a light tank with the speed boost towards the heavy flank. He's trying to get some early information. Realism. taking base A. Rumpelstilzchen going all the way towards the boat. This allows EXL to get some information on anyone potentially still there, securing the A cap. Quick cap lead for EXL. Nicely done. Interesting strategy there. First time seeing A Caro in the top 4 in this tournament at least. It has been played occasionally, but very rarely on this tournament so far. Oh, Ace taking a shot by the enemy T100 LT. Therefore, the light tank will be spotted for 17 seconds. Tracer shells 20 seconds. But then adaptive concealment -3. Dershing moving up. His responsibility will be to cover base C. For now he can also look into the city, but he's already turning around. He will be perfectly hull down, able to shoot anyone moving into base C. Also the concept 1B is incredibly hard to push out. Dershing will also have some shots there. Kitsune with a clipper. The problem is only that it won't be needed if EXL is not forced to make a play. And EXL currently has the cap lead. Why would they push into base C? So BPS will have to come up with an idea to change that. That might be going for base B with the 116 F3 that is already close by. It might be pushing towards base A, but that might turn out to be very, very tricky, as there is the light tank to the side, spotting it early. Then there is Jungelskog having some shots towards base A. Also, he is very nicely hidden behind these piles of coal. So I think, yeah, A is difficult to take. EXL is already in the background. They can relocate very easily. Oh, blind shots towards Ace. Pretty close. But Ace having shot Rumpelstilzchen without getting spotted. The tracer shells doing their job of keeping him spotted now. What's the plan for BPS though? BPS is pressuring the enemy spawn a bit more. But they have like no information at all. It's all about the info. And Ventium, Pat being spotted. Where is the Secret Service? Where are the light tanks with the intel for their team? Ace is stuck. So BPS just pushing in to Rumpelstilzchen might still not be a bad idea. Cora going for it. Getting crossfired though. Nice first shot. Also Kitsune is following. And at the same time, EXL is counter pushing. They are going in on the other side. Pat in focus fire. He is down to a 2 or 3 shot already. Getting pushed down where he cannot escape anymore. Oh, Pat. Down to 1 shot, still puts out 1. Ventium, though, still gets the kill of Adam. But he is now having Object 3 and the T100 going for him. At the same time, base A is being stopped. Base B is being capped. No, it's just a fight on base B. Sneer struggling against Krim, but there is backup, it seems. Sneer also getting shot from lots of different angles. But Krim is going down. BPS at 960 points. Rumpelstilzchen still alive in the background. BPS gets the kill of Jungelskog. And this is the win for BPS. 4-1. BPS making it to the lower bracket finals. where they will fight for another chance to enter the grand finals of this tournament. EXL, commiserations, ending on the 4th place. Had some good times today, but also not seeming to be in top form. This was BPS with a deserved win. Looked pretty close. I was worried about the baiting strategy of EXL again working out. If it was somehow possible for EXL to simply counter push base C, get a couple of kills without losing base A anytime soon. In the end, BPS did manage to take base A. Somehow they didn't kill Rumpelstilzchen, but they did manage to take base A, and they did not die with too many tanks in the enemy spawn. So BPS was doing a good job of fighting for base B, fighting for base A, not really falling for the bait there all too badly. The thing is, with the bait, it did work out somehow. Yes, it killed 2 tanks, but also the push of EXL did not lead them closer to the caps. They were too far away from that. We could see some absolute top level performance today by any of the teams. I want to point out that especially Lead performed so nicely, and then also BPS delivered a great show. Let me refresh the website, so just so that you are up to date with everything. This is where we're at right now. We've seen BPS BLAV on today's stream. We've seen a Lead versus EXL. Oh, that was not on this stream, but that was also today. Close games there all over the place. And Lead very dominant against BLAV. And that means with BLAV having dropped down to the lower bracket down here, this means that they're going to fight BPS again. BPS and BLAV were already fighting against another. If I were to place my bets, I would say BPS maybe. They showed some slightly better stuff there. BLAV did not have the consistency and speed against Lead, but Lead looking so strong. So I think that I would say that BPS maybe has some better chances against Lead. Maybe BLAV was just caught on the wrong foot and ended up with getting countered badly. I don't know. We cannot know if they consider themselves to have better chances if they would meet Lead again. So EXL, first one out of the tournament, despite being one of the teams that was just having the highest chances of making it into the grand finals, as per usual. But we will see them again next season, I'm pretty sure. BPS did some interesting stuff in the last games. Some beautiful relocations, baits as well. There were lots of baits today, especially in the EXL games. EXL baited, BPS baited, and then good counter pushes as well. Love to see that. Yeah, guys, that's it with the tournament for today, actually. So BPS having made it to the lower bracket finals. That's not what we are going to see today anymore, because tomorrow then we will have the lower bracket finals at the start. We will have another best of 7 there, BLAV versus BPS. Then Lead versus the winner of those teams here. So I can obviously not call out who's going to be seen there against Lead. Okay. What I'm going to do now is to still play a couple of random games, because we still have the stream timer going, I believe. Let me see. So, 1 second, please. Okay. If you were just here for the tournament, then thank you for watching already. Don't forget to hit that like button as well. Subscribe as well. Oh, that's not even my channel. Again, I'm Nino or Paul, and I usually stream on my own channel. Today I'm here for Wargaming's official channel, and I'm having a blast commenting on this. As I always love these tournaments, I think having had some insight into tournaments, this is a totally different dimension to what random games are about, or rating games. Of course, there are different ways to master Blitz, like just generally ways of trying to get better. You can go for random games, damage farming, you can go for win rate farming, you can go for rating points farming, gun mark farming at this point as well. And then there is also the option of going for tournaments, and this is like the peak of all of that, because there you will need to communicate really well, you will need to coordinate with your teammates and come up with a perfect strategy that's not only good against some random guys, but against the best of the best potentially. Of course, you don't need to go for the absolute top. You can also start small in a quick tournaments also, and it can also be a lot of fun already. Just trying to advertise the tournament scene a little bit, because to me it was hugely important to get better in random games as well, to understand how a team actually works together, like the strategies of team support, how people keep each other alive. Obviously, you cannot just use the tournament strategies one-to-one in random games, because in random games you cannot coordinate with the team, you cannot command them where to go, although many people try that, but I believe that most people don't even see that. Chats will be turned off in many cases. I personally have the chat turned off, and in the end it is just about just getting used to the teams that you are having and trying to make the best out of that. Let me actually play some games now. Still want to do so before ending, as you will still be able to get some rewards for watching for a few more minutes. Okay, just gotta connect my tablet to the PC. And then I can give it a go. 1 second, please. Okay. And now it's connected finally. Oh, some error on tablet. All right. Connecting. Now it's synchronizing data, and I can probably log in. Yes. Okay. Let's go switch scenes to the tablet And I will play... What do I play? Let me go for the light tank, the German light that is seen all the time in this tournament. And we get Rockfield. That's actually perfect, because we've seen it so many times today. Okay. I also usually like to start with the move that we've seen on the last tournament game by EXL. That is spotting up here, as it allows me to get a lot of information early on. In a lot of cases, at least. There we go. Also, I have better view range than the opponents, better camouflage, so I can just outspot them. Keeping the 50B spotted, and I'll just sit here expecting the projector to move, or maybe this guy. Let me wait until he's behind that tree so I can shoot him without getting spotted. Nice, that's over 1k damage. And I'm still unspotted. Yeah, still unspotted. 1.5k damage. Also keeping him spotted. Nah. Oh. That might not be all that good. Now I will be spotted, yes. But hey, that's 1.8k damage. Just that I am having to be very careful with this guy. Oh, okay. That's not a shot connecting, okay. What if I do so again? He cannot see me. Might still shoot me. Okay, but I'm using the tree. So that works. Oh man. That's just perfect, the way that I'm having shots through trees all the time. Constantly out of view range. Very nice. 3.3k already dealt. And he just shot. It was a bounce. Ricochet. So I think... Oh no! Ah. Okay. Let's try to track him. Because he will be dangerous. Although, let's just not peek into the 183 and I'll be fine. He can shoot me if he wants to. Just preferably not with HEs. Although, it's okay, it's okay. Game is over. The enemy light tank is still on the other side. I'm unlikely to get him. Oh wait. Oh, he's actually here. Reactive armor doing its job. Okay. Very nice. Oh. Play sound. Nice. Okay. Nice game. Farming. Okay. And yeah, there was no bot matchmaking. Because I'm streaming. Nope. Just some normal players here. Alright. Let's go for another. Oh, you know what? Let's go for my favorite, actually. A tank that I have played so many times already. The Batshit. Playing it with a small gun does have quite a good DPM on that. Of course, the large one would be a bit easier, but I prefer the action. And also just having the DPM available. Let's go. Okay, currently not really having much support. You see, I'm not a fan of that. I'm not going to insist on playing for the medium flank without anyone here to help me. Let's not even spot around there, because it would be too dangerous. No? Okay. Interesting. Outspotted on a light tank. What is the enemy medium, actually? They have a T-54. Not really that dangerous. Oh. But I'm going to get shot from the right, I guess. Oh. Okay, I will need some support here. What about the VK? Is he AFK? Oh, he's coming up. Nah, what at the track shot? Oh no. Seriously, no one? I need to get out of the water for some extra mobility. Oh. Let's actually repair to not get set on fire. Finally, I get a track shot. Okay, great. Vickers did not keep chasing. Now it does. No. Lack of support from the VK, but... yeah. Oh, okay. Not good, not good. He basically knows where I am. This is weird. What? I was not even spotted and he still went straight for me. I think he probably didn't know that I was there. Just went to the right direction. I was thinking probably he's going to go for the VK-45 or just turning for him for a shot so I can then clip him. But nope. Maybe his actual goal was to go towards A and just run away. That was a bit of a risky game. Sticking around the middle with the two light tanks or two medium tanks coming for me. Okay, Kranwagen. The tank of the meta. Yes, it is good. Obviously. Okay. So, what could I do? I will probably go for the medium side first. We do have a lighter lineup than the opponents, so that's what I would prefer here. You know, we have 3 heavies versus 4, so I think I'll be better off being here, trying to fight the mediums, win that flank, because the other flank we are likely losing. Nope. Okay, there's a bad shit. Do we shoot a bad shit? No, there's also the risk of the enemy 183. Oh my gosh. Okay. E5 pushing in. Enemies are greedy on this game. But I'm feeling good about this. Look at that. Oh no, okay. Anyways. So Tornwagen can get killed by the WZ to my side. That's fine. I will risk it. I don't know if the 183 is there. I have not seen them all game. Let's move up a little bit. I mean, if I get close enough, I can proxy spot potentially. Oh. Okay. The auto aim just dragging over to the bad shit. It was not intentional. Okay, let's reload. Also, he just shot. Is it worth reloading even? It's fine. Good, let's speed boost. 116. I'm coming. I mean, can kill the Jagd Tiger and then I'll be there. Maybe. Nah. Does he fall back? Unfortunately not. Nope. No chance. Okay, still good game. Also, last game was a win. Obviously, yeah. Okay. Again, 3 heavies versus 2. That's the only difference in matchmaking that we have nowadays. That's still worth paying attention to. But the enemies also have 3 TDs, so we are kind of unlikely to be able to push forwards into their tank destroyers. Unless the enemy heavies are playing aggressively. But with 3 tank destroyers, it's pretty difficult to go in. So might be worth it going for the medium side instead. Let's maybe start around the middle of the map. Although that's not what I always do. Like, oftentimes I go towards the heavy flank. But I feel like it might be good to try to win over here. Nah. If he's on A, I might be able to push him right at the start. Let's do just that. Oh no, why would you do that? Raising the gun, driving into the open. Oh. Nice. Full clip? Nope. Sad for the potential max roll that wasn't loaded. And the DPM that I lost because of emptying my whole clip. Let's actually reload. I don't want to have such horrible DPM. Just keep in mind on the Kranwagen, the DPM is different depending on the shot. Let's go for the blind shot. No. Let's actually shoot him. Because he's likely moving away. Okay. We kind of also have to kill the FV, finally. Teammates aren't looking all that good. But I'm also worried about peeking out too much with the Kran and Jagd to the side. And actually, I'm kind of confident in winning this game. The enemies aren't making the best impression. Camping in the back. Ah. Oh. I was straight at the gun. But hey, I can take him out. And I will take a safer position. Oh man. This is kind of close. Pretty close, I've got to say. But I'm full life. I'm in a strong position as well. Oh no. Good. Where the hell is the Kranwagen now? The enemy. The last one. Okay. We have to focus on the batshit and the WZ actually. But I think... Nah. Not quite. Or there might be an opportunity. At least he's down to one shot. But I don't really want to take a clip from Kran. Oh, okay. Nasty shot there. Nah, I cannot go in. No! Oh no! Oh my gosh. That was sad that I had to take this one. Oh my gosh, I shot the gun of the enemy batshit. And now I'm most likely a one-shot. Can I circle around this building still? Nope. The track shot? Nah, okay. Nah, too far away from the hill. Otherwise I could have maybe circled around, tracked him. Ah, nope. Nope. It was a very slim chance of winning this one still. Oh man, what an unfortunate situation that I lost one shot to the batshit that I failed there. And got shot by the WZ in return for that reason. I would have had one more shot onto the Kran earlier, or would have had a shot reloaded, and I would have been much healthier. I would not have been a one-shot. Just needed to out-trade him once. Okay. Let's still go for last game. Oh, what do we have there? Can I track? Yes, I can track. Oh. Oh. Back to the garage. Alright. Good start for us. But we are having enemies getting aggressive on the other flank. Oh, okay. He should not be able to penetrate me. Nice. Okay, let's actually try to support on the left a little bit. Oh, Gorilla going forwards. This is not good. Okay, I'm not really having spotters there. Oh no. Oh, the gun elevation on this tank. But hey, that works. Come on. Nope. Second shot loaded almost. Okay, he will also shoot me. Okay, I cannot out-trade him. Are my teammates fine killing the 183? I think they are, yes. We could still take base A if we wanted to, but I don't think it's about the caps all that much. Look, we're already having a tank advantage. WT to the side. I cannot hit the TVP, but let's go forwards here and build up some crossfire on the Kranwagen, if he's not being taken out by E100 anyways. Maybe I can just go for damage. Yeah. Karma. Anyways. No. I wanted to move up the hill on the left side. Maybe. Oh! Got rammed. And we also missed this shot. Okay. And that's it from me for today. On tonight. I will still be streaming for you tomorrow again. And yeah, I will be there together with Women, who is the Wargaming Tournament Manager. We will be co-commenting. You might have already seen her on other streams, like on the NA stream that she was on. And I don't know if there have been other streams in the past. But yes, that's what's going to happen tomorrow. We will have the lower bracket finals and then the grand finals, where we will see who is going to make it, who is going to be able to fight against Lead, first of all. And then the question is anyone having a chance against Lead? Who will get the grand prize pool? Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, please don't forget to hit that like button. And I'll see you back tomorrow then, I'm sure. So, collect your rewards and have a nice evening still. Goodbye.